Most people want to get the best armor in Minecraft, but I want to get the worst. And I don't just mean leather armor. No, there's actually way more you can do to make an armor set so bad that it's literally worse than not wearing anything at all. Like by having armor types even worse than leather, curse enchantments, having the ugliest armor trim designs, and even getting full protection 0. Yeah, I'm not kidding. All right, we can start by crafting a full set of leather armor. All right, and then we're gonna fly over to the secret base we made in the last episode because I'm gonna store the armor right here. So I'm gonna remove this disgusting, horrible armor and build a little display case for our perfect, amazing armor. All right, and there we go, a perfect place to display the worst armor in the game. And we're just gonna start with leather armor as a base, but like I said, we're gonna make this so much worse. Let's start with the boots and work our way up. And for the boots, we're actually gonna replace these with chainmail armor, which I should have up at my mob farm, because leather boots actually have a secret advantage. Because if you're wearing leather boots when you're over powdered snow, it prevents you from sinking and thus freezing. Right, let's see if we have any chainmail boots. One pair of chainmail boots? You kidding me? I need it to be full durability. You're joking, bro. Okay, I just looked it up, and apparently you can actually repair chainmail boots in an anvil. But basically, chainmail boots have the same amount of protection as leather, but without the benefit of being able to protect you from powdered snow. They do have more durability, but that's actually better for our purposes. I'll explain more about why that's better later on, but for now we just need to head back into the secret base because I think I left my anvil down here. Where is it? Yeah, it's right there. And we should be able to just heal these up. Yeah. Boom. Chainmail boots. But this has enchantments on it, which we can't have that, so we need to remove the enchantments. We need to make a grindstone. I guess I'll put this in the enchanting area. And boom. Unenchanted chainmail boots. Perfect. All right, next is the pants. And the leggings are actually the only set of leather armor where there isn't actually a worse variant of them, but there's still a way to make this worse because leather armor can be dyed any color. And if you don't know, Pantone 448C is considered to be the ugliest possible color. And since leather armor can literally be dyed any color, you can actually dye these leggings to be as close to that color as possible. So we should need, we need some green dye, and then we're gonna need some brown dye. All right, so we should just be able to add this and add a brown, and gray is a bit closer to the actual color. Maybe a little more brown. Yeah, okay. No, I think that's as close as you can get. Yeah, that's pretty ugly. I think that's pretty close to the actual color, so we can go ahead and fly back. All right, and boom, now it's on to the chest plate. And believe it or not, there's actually a chest plate even worse than leather armor. That's right, the elytra. Now, you might not count elytra as armor, but you can put it in an armor slot, and the elytra offers 0 protection, which is worse than leather because the leather at least offers something. But you might be saying elytras allow you to fly, and that's a pretty powerful ability, so how would this be worse? Well, this isn't, but when an elytra breaks, it actually doesn't just get deleted like how every other item does when it breaks. It just turns into a broken elytra item, which I'm pretty sure is just an elytra that doesn't work. So we're gonna need to set out to the end and get another elytra, because obviously I'm not gonna get rid of this one. In fact, I actually need to repair this one. All right, and now we can head to the end. Honestly, I don't remember which way it is, though. I think it's this way. Is this it? Is it really this close? Well, that's crazy. We really need to make this a little more safe, but I guess I'll do that another time. All right, and the last tent that we found was in this direction, I think, so I'm just gonna fly towards there. Also, I actually need to be careful about using my fireworks, because I don't have that many. And this is the one I've already looted, so the search begins, I guess. Bruh. I already found one. Okay, that was pretty easy. Bro, that's another one. Is that an end ship? Oh my god, we're gonna get 2. Let's go. And a protection 4 diamond chest plate. That's pretty cool. To the next one, I guess. Bro, what? There's another one. Is that another ship? What? 3 end cities with ships, all within view distance of each other. What is going on? That is so weird. Guess I'm stocking up on elytras and protection 4 chest plates, I guess. What the heck? What is happening? Is that the one we didn't go to yet, I think? No, wait. You're joking. There's 4. What? Which one is the one we didn't go to yet? I don't even know. I'm gonna have to check with this one. I haven't gone to this one yet. What is going on? 4? And dude, what is going on? Why am I getting so lucky in this world, bro? I guess the second you start trying to get the worst armor in Minecraft just grants you infinite luck, I guess. I was trying to just get 1 elytra. I just got 4. But actually, I'm gonna land real quick because the purpose of this elytra is to wear it out and break it. So I'm gonna just fly it home. Just gotta keep an eye on it because if it breaks, I'm just gonna die instantly. I have no idea how difficult it's gonna be to get this elytra to break. All right, well now I just have to fly around until this elytra breaks. Kind of counterintuitive to what you would typically be doing, but yeah. Okay, so there's our broken elytra. All right, yeah, so as you can see, if we switch to this, we just fall. So it does not work. I wonder if broken elytras actually have like a different texture while you have them on. All right, so you can't see, but I'm trying to press the space bar. I have this equipped and it's not working. Yeah, this is a totally useless elytra. And we can now add this to our worst possible armor set. And I guess it doesn't render, which is kind of lame, but all right. And now for the helmet. There are actually quite a few different options for the helmet in terms of things you can wear that don't offer any armor. Because yeah, you can wear mob heads like the Ender Dragon head, and it just looks cool. It doesn't provide any actual armor benefit. Now I don't know if the Ender Dragon head would do this, but all the other mob heads makes it harder for the respective mob type to detect you. So they all kind of offer their own unique advantage. So technically the Ender Dragon head is actually the worst of all the wearable things because it offers no actual benefit, whereas all the other mob heads offer a specific benefit. But carved pumpkins can also be worn on your head, although I can't swap it like I can with other armor, I guess. What the heck? That's how you hold a dragon head? That's so weird. And carved pumpkins do have the advantage and preventing endermen from getting mad at you when you look at them, but this is pretty much only useful in the end because even if you do encounter endermen in the overworld, it's really not that hard to just not look at their eyes. But the main drawback to this one is the vision impairment. This thing blocks like a good 50% of your vision, and the benefit is totally not worth it. Plus, it looks way less cool than the Ender Dragon head. So because the carved pumpkin actively makes the game more difficult, you're basically less powerful or capable with this on. Plus, there's a way that we can actually get cursive binding on this carved pumpkin, which I don't think we can do with the dragon head. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the carved pumpkin is the worst helmet you can get. But there are still way more ways we can make this armor set even worse. The next thing we're gonna do is get curse enchantments. Because if you don't already know, there are actually curse enchantments in Minecraft, which actively make the piece of armor worse. And I just ran out of fireworks. Alright, I got a bunch more fireworks, and I'm just gonna make this island a sugarcane farm real quick. Alright, so we can head over to our villager trading hall. I don't know if I've locked these guys' trades in yet or not. Oh yeah, no, I haven't. So, okay. I can refresh these guys' trades. Let's see. Okay, he's staying a librarian. Okay, I guess these guys are already leveled up. Alright, well, this guy's not, so I guess we'll just refresh until we get a cursive binding enchantment. Alright, we got the first curse, so we need to lock in the trade. I wanted to get cursive binding first, but whatever, it's fine. We need to get both anyways. Alright, I only have just enough emeralds to buy one of them. That's not good. Kind of feels stupid to buy a curse book, but I can craft a bunch of sticks and trade those for emeralds. Alright, so we need 3 more in total. So now we have all the cursive vanishing books, but now we need cursive binding. These guys are not doing the deed. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna break one of these lecterns and just place it down here and hope that one of them latches onto it like this. Oh, no, I think it needs to be at their feet, like this. Yeah, okay, so I can just break and replace it like this. Cursive vanishing again, I need cursive binding. All right, we got cursive binding, but it's 26 emeralds, bro. I have to trade him something though, so I'm gonna have to go get some paper, I guess. All right, so we locked in the trade, but now we need to get a bunch more emeralds so I can afford the rest. So basically, I chopped down a bunch of jungle trees and then crafted all the wood into sticks and traded those sticks to Fletchers for emeralds. All right, that should be it. We should now have all the cursive binding and all the cursive vanishing enchantments. We can fly back over to the underground base. I'm pretty sure it's cheapest enchantment wise to combine these first. Oh, that can't be right. That's 4 for each of them. I'll be out of XP like immediately. Let me just see how expensive it is to add it. All right, we got our 4 terrible armor pieces. This project is so stupid. All right, so I think it probably will be cheaper to combine these. Yeah, you can actually put both. That's crazy. All right, well, let's get our cursive binding, cursive vanishing elytra. That's hilarious. Ah, bro, I'm already out of levels. Dang it. I'm so broke in this game, bro. Alright, well, I gotta head up to my farm. Alright, so now we can add the curses to our pants. Alright, and now we can enchant the boots. And we can't do the carved pumpkin yet. Wait. You can still? You can still do that? I thought it was removed. You could still add curses to it. Okay, never mind. I thought I was gonna have to go into an older version to get that. No, okay, you can still enchant that. That is so cool. I mean, I'm currently in 1.21.8, so maybe they removed that in like a slightly later version or something. All right, well, let's enchant our carved pumpkin with cursive binding and cursive vanishing. I honestly didn't even think I was gonna be able to get both curse enchantments on any individual piece of item, and I definitely didn't think I was gonna be able to get it on the pumpkin. But I do have to be careful now, because if I put any of these on, actually, I think if I put this on, I literally will never be able to get it off because carved pumpkins don't have durability. So actually, I won't be able to take the elytra off either. So I gotta be careful. So really, I should not have any of these in my hotbar because if I accidentally right click on them, it'll put it on automatically, and that would not be good. But next, we're actually gonna add Unbreaking 3 and Mending to all of these armor pieces, except for the pumpkins. You can't do that. You might be thinking, why would you do that? That would make them better, right? Well, no, because these have Curse of Binding, meaning they cannot be taken off. And because this set of armor is gonna be worse than not having armor on at all, the only way to get them off is gonna be to break them. So the harder it is to break them, then the worse this armor is. So we're gonna get Unbreaking 3 on these 3 pieces because we can't get it on the pumpkin, which I think I already have a Mending villager, but I don't think I have an Unbreaking 3 villager. No, I just have 2 Mending villagers. So I guess I'll turn this other villager down here into an Unbreaking 3 villager, and then I'm gonna have to chop down more trees.
Bye, have a great
That guy just left. Or no, he's trying to leave. Ha, idiot. Alright, I have not gotten Unbreaking 3, but I got Unbreaking 2. And I might just need to make do with that because this is taking so long. I would need to get 6 of those, so I think I can do that. No. Why did that happen? I just went to go craft some books and then he lost the trade. Why did that even happen? Okay. I'm done with this game, bro. All right, I'm actually glad it messed up because I just got an Unbreaking 3 trade. Let's go. So now I need to get a bunch of emeralds. All right, so I got all the enchanted books, so now we just need to combine them. All right, so that's all of them. So now we just need to grab all of our armor. Be really careful not to put any of it on. And we just need to add this. Oh, wait, actually, that's the wrong book. All right, and I'm gonna run out of enchantments, but I already don't have enough, so I gotta go grind at the mob farm again. This is literally the dumbest video I've ever made. All right, and now we can add it to the elytra. All right, and then the leather pants. And just to check, I want to make sure you can't enchant this with anything else. Yeah, no, you can't. You can just get the curses on the pumpkin. All right, and now we've gotten all the curse enchantments and Unbreaking and Mending, so these are like as impossible to remove as possible. Oh, wait. No. Oh, I'm stupid. You can't have it on the elytra because then it can heal. That defeats the whole point. Actually, on the elytra, I shouldn't have either of them, right? I mean, the Unbreaking kind of doesn't do anything on the elytra. Wow, I'm actually stupid. How do I get that off? I'm gonna have to grindstone it and then put the curses back on. All right, well, I'm stupid, so back to the grind, I guess. All right, I got the books again. So now I just need to grab the anvil from up here. No, you're kidding me. Okay. Well, I can grindstone this elytra. Oh, dude, I am so dumb. You don't even need to. I just broke my anvil for no reason. You can't even take curses off of items. That's actually crazy. Okay. So yeah, I think I want to do this because Mending definitely need to take off. Unbreaking 3 would just kind of add nothing. So if anything, it would just make it cooler for no reason. So I think it makes sense to just take it off because it's already broken. So Unbreaking wouldn't do anything. How do I know this is gonna actually work and not put it on me? I don't know how these work. Let me try something else. Okay, right-clicking puts it on. Oh, actually, both put it on. Okay. I just don't want to put these on accidentally. It'll just be stuck on me forever. All right, now the helmet and the elytra are actually done. These are the worst possible helmet and chest plates you can get in the game. But there's still a bunch more we can do for these two. And the next thing we're gonna do to these armor pieces is get the worst possible armor trim designs. And you might be thinking, how do you determine what the worst armor trim designs are? That's just based off personal taste. Well, that would be true if there wasn't an objective way to measure personal taste. So I made a community post. That's just the best option I have available. And the most common sentiment I saw was that Rib and Vex are the worst armor trims, and that Iron and Copper are the ugliest armor trim designs. So first off, I'm gonna go make sure I don't already have that. Okay, I have Spire. Someone said Spire is bad, but I don't have Vex. How do you get the Vex one? I don't get it. I thought I would have gotten some armor trims. Oh, okay, here's some. I have Dune, Coast, but no Rib or Vex. All right, so apparently you can find the Rib armor trim in Nether Fortress chests and the Vex armor trim in Woodland Mansion chests. So I guess I'll start by getting the Rib armor trim because that's going to be a little bit easier. All right, so I guess we'll just start by flying out into a random direction and search for a Nether Fortress, I guess. Bruh, I guess I already reached a dead end. Guess I'll have to mine to a Nether Fortress. Okay, actually, I just checked the footage of the last episode and found the coordinates of the last Nether Fortress we went to, so I'm heading to those coordinates. All right, and here we are. So now I just gotta hope that they actually have enough loot chests to find the rib armor trim. Bro, I can't even find a single loot chest. What is going on? All right, honestly, I'm not sure that there is even loot chests in this nether fortress. So I think I'm just gonna try and find another one. All right, and after a while of flying around, I eventually found another fortress. All right, I finally found another fortress. Oh my god, finally, an actual chest. No rib armor trim though. So it looks like I've already been here because there's like blocks marking the ground. But I guess I didn't loot all the chests, so I guess I'll still explore it. Oh my god, I almost just hit that pigman. Bro! Did you just drop a skeleton head? Dude, let's go. Now we have 2. We only need 1 more for a wither skeleton. Or for a wither. To spawn the wither, whatever. Okay, yeah, I kept searching around the nether fortress, and I still could not find... I really couldn't find any more chests, but I definitely couldn't find any rib armor trims, so I gave up on that fortress and flew around again to try and find another one, and began searching that nether fortress as well. I eventually made my way inside the fortress corridors and began opening a bunch more loot chests, but I still found 0 rib armor trims. And after a while of searching through this massive fortress, I still hadn't found a single rib armor trim. So I left that fortress behind as well to search for another nether fortress. And once I finally found another fortress, I explored it, and I finally found a rib armor trim and also got another wither skeleton skull, which means with the one in the underground base, we now have enough to spawn the wither and get a beacon. All right, after like an hour or something, I finally have the worst armor trim in the game, so that was definitely worth my time. But now we need to get the Vex armor trim, I guess. So the first thing we'll do is get a cartography villager, because I think they trade woodland mansion maps. And I guess I've used all my villagers now, so I'll just fly over to this village and imprison one of theirs. And you've already probably seen enough of me trading with villagers to develop at least 3 mental illnesses, so I'll just speed through this a bit. I basically just repeated the same process as before, committing some deforestation, crafting all the jungle logs into sticks, trading those sticks with fletching villagers for emeralds, and then using said emerald to level up a cartography villager so we can get the woodland mansion map trade. And once I had leveled him up enough, he began trading compasses for emeralds, which actually leveled him up a lot more. So I went cave diving to get some more iron, because I'm broke still. Used that to craft up a bunch of compasses, and then traded with the villager to level him up. And I had finally leveled him up to master, and could finally claim my woodland explorer map. Alright, I finally got the woodland mansion map, so we can finally set out towards the woodland mansion. Ooh, I think this is a Stony Peaks biome, and we're currently out of iron, so I might grab a little bit of iron while I'm here. Alright, and a small amount of iron collection later, and we're ready to head to the woodland mansion. I also kind of need to run into a pale garden, because I actually think I saw resin as the worst armor trim material more than I saw copper, so I might want to use that for one of the armor trim materials. Bro, no way, I literally just ran into a pale garden. That's crazy. Alright, well, we'll come back to that later, because I think we're close to the woodland mansion. Alright, and boom, the woodland mansion. Let's go. Okay, I don't really exactly know how to go about doing this. I guess I'll just head in here and start looking around. Yeah, so I slowly traversed through the woodland mansion and definitely didn't repeatedly run away from Vexes because I have a skill issue, and then this happened. Okay, that was way too close. I think we were like 1 or 2 hits away from losing the world right there, so I need to be a bit more careful. So I began exploring the woodland mansion a lot more carefully, and I also did some more research about where to find the Vex armor trim, and apparently they can only spawn in the treasure chests, which are like always hidden. So I had to kind of look up and find out where the treasure chests were hidden. But yeah, I'm gonna speed through this a bit because I spent a long time, probably an hour or 2, searching through this woodland mansion, and I could barely find any treasure chests, and the ones I did find, I did not find any Vex armor trims. And this is pretty bad luck because I'm pretty sure there's like a 50% chance that it spawns, so as long as I find like 2, I should have found one. I genuinely could not find any more treasure chests, so I decided to burn the whole woodland mansion down because I genuinely couldn't think of another way to find the remaining treasure chests. And after burning the entire thing to the ground, I still didn't find any more treasure chests. Or maybe I did, I forget, but there wasn't any Vex armor trims, which means I would literally have to level up another cartography villager and find and loot another woodland mansion to have a chance at getting the Vex armor trim, which is literally one of the worst armor trims in the game. Like, that's the whole point of this video. So I flew back to the base with the intention of just doing that later because I was a little burnt out on woodland mansions. Oh yeah, but I did also find some resin in one of the chests, so I can put that on the armor trim, but I didn't actually end up using it because I decided in the meantime I might as well head into a creative test world to figure out what I think the worst possible combination of armor trims is. Because basically you guys said Vex Vex and Rib were the worst armor trims, and like Copper or Resin and Iron were the worst materials, but I didn't know which combination I should put on the leggings versus the boots. And after laying them all out in a row on a bunch of armor stands, and then ranking them from best to worst based off my personal opinion, honestly, the Iron Rib armor trims looked the worst on both the leggings and the boots, which is good news for me because that means I don't have to find a freaking Vex armor trim. So I decided to just go with that, duplicated our Rib armor trim, and put an Iron Rib armor trim on our boots and leggings. The worst looking armor trim design material combination in the entire game. That is an objective fact. You cannot disagree with that. There's no such thing as having a personal opinion. So yeah, you're just wrong if you think otherwise. All right, and the final step to making this the worst possible armor in Minecraft is adding all the level 0 enchantments like Protection 0, Thorns 0, and even Feather Falling 0. But to do that, we're gonna have to downgrade our world, which will kind of risk corrupting the world. But before that, there's still a few more things I want to do to make sure that we have the worst possible gear set. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is get every type of negative potion effect. Okay, I just organized my inventory. That took forever, but now we can go ahead and get a few things. We're gonna get some sugar, a fermented spider eye. How do you make that? All right, I guess I need mushrooms. All right, and then a glistering melon or whatever. We're also gonna need some gunpowder, I guess. All right, and then to make poison, we just add a spider eye. All right, so there's the poison. And actually, we only need one of each, so I don't need to be making so many. But we're also gonna get a wither rose so we can get the withering effect. And we actually got 2 wither skeleton skulls from the nether earlier. So we just need that and some soul sand. We're gonna have to go get the other one from the secret base. We also need obsidian, and we're gonna need a ton of eggs, which we do not have a lot of, actually. All right, next we have to make instant health so that we can make instant damage. And then we can add a fermented spider eye, I think, to make this into instant damage. And we actually need another fermented spider. All right, instant damage. And now we have to make a speed potion so that we can turn it into a slowness potion. And I'm gonna fly back over to the hidden base to get the other wither skeleton skull. All right, give me that. All right, and then we can add a fermented spider eye to this to make it a slowness potion. All right, and now we have our slowness potion. And that's all the negative potion effects you can get. But now we actually need a bunch of eggs so we can easily spawn chickens in the end, so that when we spawn the wither, it kills all the chickens, which will cause them to drop wither roses, which we can use to get the withering effect. All right, and they've actually already pooped out a bunch of eggs. So I just need to breed them up a bunch. Oh, I never even finished this. Still a block missing. And I'm gonna need to smelt up all this iron. All right, and we can just set up a temporary egg farm by replacing this floor with hoppers. All right, and now I just need to make sure all the chickens stay above the hoppers. Get out of there, bro. Oh, okay. Sorry, bro. All right, and now we should start collecting eggs. Alright, well I just AFK'd for a while and I only got like 6 more eggs, so we're just gonna hope that's enough. So now we can head back to the end, and now we just dig out a 5x5 area under the end portal. Okay, and I'm pretty sure you place the obsidian like this. And now we need to spawn a bunch of chickens. Okay, 4, that should be good. Now we should just have to place in the soul sand. Get out of here, bro. And if I did everything right, we just have to do this. And when it explodes, it should start killing the chickens. It didn't kill any of them. What the heck? Why not? No. Oh my god, they all escaped. How are they not dying? Oh wait, one died. They didn't drop a wither rose. You're kidding me, dude. I don't have any seeds. Oh, yes, I do. Nope, he just went back to the overworld. All right, I think they're all gone. Maybe they needed to be in here during this phase? Where did they all go? They all went back to the overworld, bro. Maybe I could get some endermen in here? I don't know. Whatever. All right, well, at least we got another star, so we can make a beacon now. Oh, we didn't get any wither roses. This is so sad. To complete this set of the worst possible gear, we're also gonna grab a stack of the worst food in the game, and then we're also gonna craft a full set of wooden tools, and then we can buy a bunch more Curse of Vanishing books, and then I can get all of these tools down to the minimum possible durability. No, dang it. Alright, and now we can add all of the... Oh, okay, it just broke the anvil. Gotta head back to the hidden base. Alright, and now we can add all the Curse of Vanishing books, and there we go. The most useless possible... Wait, Did I just enchant one of them twice? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Okay, and now we have the world's most useless set of tools. Alright, and now we can go ahead and add a barrel in here that will contain every negative potion you can create, as well as the worst possible set of tools in the game and a stack of the worst food in the game. Alright, and now it's finally time to get all the level 0 enchantments. Alright, but first I actually forgot about one of the negative potion effects, weakness. So I'm gonna fly back to the base and make that real quick. And for this one, I guess you just need a fermented spider eye, and boom, there we go, weakness potion. So I'll just fly back to the underground base and add that to the set of the worst possible gear. Alright, and now it's time to downgrade our world, specifically to snapshot 18W06A, which is before netherite existed, so if I have netherite in my inventory, it's gonna delete all of it. So I need to put all this away and put on a backup set of gear. I'll bring with us the worst leggings and boots, obviously, so we can get all the level 0 enchantments, but I'm also gonna bring a full set of leather armor, because I think it'll be funny to have a full set of protection 0 armor. Alright, and now it's finally time to set out into the distance. We need to fly into unloaded chunks, because downgrading our world is risking corrupting any chunks that are loaded in, and we don't want to delete our base or anything we've built so far. After flying for a while, I found the place I wanted to downgrade, and finally downgraded our world. First to 1.12.2, and then to 18W06A, which is a snapshot for 1.13. And we kept most of our inventory, but all of the enchantments and durability data got removed from our armor and tools. But that's actually not a problem, because this snapshot just so happens to give you the ability to enchant anything with the /enchant command without having cheats enabled. So this is a vanilla survival no cheats feature that is in this snapshot. So I'll start by just adding back all the enchantments that were removed from our gear. And now finally, to get the level 0 enchantments we want, we just type in the enchantment followed by the number 0, which for some reason is able to be applied to armor in this version. And it just reads as enchantment.level.0, but we can also do this for all other kinds of enchantments. So I added feather falling 0 to our boots, depth strider 0 to our boots, thorn 0 to the boots and leggings, and then of course I added protection 0 to the entire leather armor set, so we can have a full set of protection 0 armor. Alright, and it's time to test out this armor. Yeah, no, I'm joking. This is a backup world. And in fact, we've been in a backup world since we left to find unloaded chunks to downgrade the world. The reason being, even though we can obtain the level 0 enchantments in no cheats vanilla survival, there's no way that I know of to get them into the modern versions of the game. When loading into any version 1.21.2 or higher, it'll just wipe all the level 0 enchantments. And I also couldn't even find a way to upgrade to 1.21.1 without all the armor getting corrupted, but we still got to keep everything other than the level 0 enchantments, and overall, I'm pretty happy with how horrible this armor is. Yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. I'm trying to hit 1 million subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button right this instant. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more hardcore episodes, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.